All right. Any pains or injuries before we start that I don't know about? Okay, good. All right. Good day, everyone. This is Stephen Cheng coming to you live from 333 Grand in downtown Jersey City, New Jersey. Please visit my website, simhayoga.com, for the hybrid schedule, which is in person here at 333 Grand, as well as through Zoom. You can register for class through ubindi.com. If you're watching this on YouTube, classes are $10, and you can pay through Venmo or PayPal. Payment information is on the bottom of the video. And again, you can find all of this information on my website, simhayoga.com. Today's class is basics, level 1. If you're working with any kind of special conditions or limitations, make sure that you do modify poses or skip poses altogether. And be mindful that if something isn't right for your body, that you do make some good decisions so you don't create any injuries or perpetuate any injuries. Let's sit up tall. If your hips are tight, you can sit up on a block or a blanket. All right? Let's come into cross-legged position, palms face up, fingers come to Jnana Mudra, thumb and index fingers touching, and eyes are closed, starting to center the breath, drawing your senses inwards. Let your inhales even out with your exhales. Three arms together, inhale. Keeping the eyes closed, hands together in prayer on front of the heart. Pressing your thumbs into your heart, heart back into the thumbs. Lifting the heart up toward the sky. Setting your intention for yoga practice. Devoting your practice to someone or something, or to yourself, your supreme self that lives within your heart. Chanting the mantra for purification. Purifying the space in which you practice yoga. Call and response. Om Pavitraha, Om Pavitraha, Pavitrawa, Pavitrawa, Sarva Vushtan, Sarva Vushtan, Gatopiwa, Gatopiwa, Yaha Smarit, Yaha Smarit, Pundrikaksham, Pundrikaksham, Sapahya, Sapahya, Bihyendraha, Bihyendraha, Suchihi, Suchihi. Beginning to open the eyes and let the palms face up again. Fingers come back to Jnana Mudra. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, draw the right ear to the right shoulder. Take the right hand to the left side of the head, pulling gently to elongate. Danielle, switch hands, but keep tilting that direction. Go back in the first direction. There you go. And then chin toward the right shoulder. Release back to center. Drop the right hand. Left ear to the left shoulder. Left hand to the right side of the head. So you're stretching the right side of the neck by applying a little bit of pressure to the side of the head. And chin toward the left shoulder. Release back to center, drop the left hand, chin toward the chest. Big circles with the head in one direction, ear to one side, roll it back. Opposite side, roll the center. Take a few more rounds in that same direction, allowing these circles to begin to move your neck and the shoulders, releasing the top of the spine. Take one more giant circle, chin back toward the chest, and pause, full stop. And then taking the opposite direction, moving just as slowly. And come back to center again. Lift the chin parallel to the floor, a neutral spine. Extend the legs forward, separating your feet. Allow the hands to support to either side of you, sitting up tall, and turn your toes toward each other, and then roll out. Draw in, roll out, draw in. Take outer rotation, circling the ankles. Come back to center, and then switch them around, inner rotations, opposite direction. So Sarup, with your socks on, you might be slippery in a little bit, so you might want to take your socks off. And come back to center. Cross your shins again, but take the opposite shin on top, the other crossing of the legs. You might feel a little bit tighter on this side because it's your non-dominant side. It's perfectly normal. It might feel even awkward, right? Raise the arms up high. Extend. Exhale. Twist to the right. Right hand behind you. Left hand to the right knee. And twist. Inhale, come back to center, arms up. Exhale, twist to the other direction. Inhale, back to center again. Exhale, side bends, right hand down, left arm overhead. Take it back up to center, arms up. Extend the legs forward, exhale, forward fold. So you're grabbing your feet, your ankles or your shins, and try to maintain a lengthy spine, a neutral spine as you make your way forward, forward fold. All right, make your way back up. Let's widen out your feet about mat's width distance, supporting with the hands either side of you. All right, so you want to be able to sit up tall comfortably. Keep the left leg pressing down. Raise your right leg up. Flex your foot strongly. And rotate the right foot outwardly, going into the hip joint. And then roll the toes in. Roll out, roll in, roll out, roll in. This time, roll out, bend your right knee. Take the sole of the right foot to the inner left leg. Left hand to the floor and square your torso over your left leg. Raise your right arm up. Inhale. Exhale. Reach forward. You can grab your foot, your ankles, or your shins, whatever you can hold on to. And you want to come back to a more neutral spine by lifting the upper chest. On the exhale, gently hinge at the hips to take it forward. So try not to immediately round the spine, but instead keep a neutral spine and get as much stretch to your lower back as possible. If you can grab the foot, even better. So working into forward fold to stretch your lower back as well as your left hamstrings. Start to make your way back up to center. Keep the legs as they are and counter twist to the right. Square back to center. Pick up the right knee, step the right foot to the floor. You want to move the right heel further out, so maybe off the mat, and pivot to the right heel. You're going to, again, square your torso over your left leg. Now, we're going to roll the knee forward and back. You want the arm to be out of the way of the knee, so you might want to take the hand closer to the left leg, okay? So you're going to roll the right knee forward, going into the hip joint again, and then roll the right knee back. Good. Roll the right knee forward, roll the right knee back. One more time. Roll the right knee forward, roll the right knee back, and stay here with the knee opening. Left hand stays on the floor, right hand pressing the inner right thigh away from you and slightly back. So you should feel a nice stretch to your inner right thigh into your right hip joint. And so as we hold this for a few more breaths, keep in mind what we're doing right now is less yoga, more therapy, okay? So a lot of this is kin stretch, kinesthetic stretch. All right, release, come back to center. Take the right leg forward, and the right heel is to the corner of the mat. All right? And then taking your left leg, supporting with your hands to either side, pick up the left foot. Flex your foot strongly, so you're activating your leg. You're going to roll the toes out. You're going to roll the toes in. Roll the toes out. Roll the foot in. Better description. Roll the foot out. Roll the foot in. This time, roll out, bend the left knee, and take the sole of the left foot to the inner right thigh. Right hand to the floor for support. Start to rotate your torso over your right leg, left arm up, inhale, exhale, fold forward. So you can grab your foot, your ankles or shins. Again, more important is to keep a neutral spine, hinge at the hips to take the torso forward, getting into stretch of the right quads, right lower, the lower back in general. Release. Make your way back up. Keep the legs as they are. Counter twist to the left. Square back to center. Support the left knee. Lift the left knee. Step the foot out to the side. So angle it out and away from you, and then pivot to the heel. So you want about maybe about 2 feet of space, right? When your foot is too close to you, it's going to be very hard for you to rotate the knee. When it's too far out, you're not going to feel much of anything. So find a sweet spot where your knee is bent, but you have enough space away from the seat. All right? And then you're going to rotate to face over the right leg again. Let the left arm be away and not obstruct the rolling of the left knee. Okay? Rosalind, yes, there you go. Okay, roll the left knee forward. Good. Roll the left knee back. Roll the left knee forward. Roll the left knee back. One more time. Roll forward. Roll back. With your left hand, gently press your left thigh away from you. So you're getting into the stretch of the inner left thigh, inner left hip joint. And so you're adding pressure to get more openness. And start to release. Support the left leg to draw forward. And let's come back to symmetry. Raise the arms up on the exhale, forward fold. This time you're grabbing the inner feet or your inner legs anywhere you can. Re-lengthen your spine the best you can. Exhale, forward fold. Make your way back up. Soles of feet together, knees apart, grabbing the ankles. You're going to butterfly your knees just a little bit, and again, bring the openness into your hips. All right, come back to stillness. Keep your feet as they are, and then let's twist again to your left. Back to center, twist to the right. Back to center. With the hands behind you, outwardly turn your fingertips. You're going to lift your chest, broaden your shoulders by kissing your shoulder blades together and gently looking up. So you want to open up the throat, but you don't want to drop the head back. You want the back of the neck to continue to support. So you're broadening your collarbones, the front bodies, right? Taking this into a back bend. And start to release. Draw the knees together, swing the legs back behind you, crawl the hands forward. Let's come to hands and knees. So your hands should be about shoulders width, lining up your shoulders with your elbows. Knees should be about hips width, lining up the hips with the knees. So vertical structures. On the inhale, draw the navel down, raise your tail, raise the back of the head, Taking cat-cows. Exhale, round the spine, chin toward the chest, dome the middle of the back up toward the sky. Inhale, drop the navel, raise your tail, raise the back of the head, arching your spine. This is your cow pose. Exhale, round the spine, chin toward the chest. This is your cat pose. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. So Sarup. So rather than leaning forward, you're going to keep the hips over your knees and just arch your spine. Go the opposite direction first. Yes, there you go. This is where you stay. And then on the exhale, keeping that same position, round the spine. Let's do one more time. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Come back to neutral position. Untuck the toes and sit on top of the shins. Now, this is too deep for your quads and your knees, and you have to tuck your toes so you're a little bit higher. You can do that too. Okay? Take the hands together in prayer. Interlace your fingers, and then invert your palms to point the palms forward, round the spine. Inhale, keeping your hands, lift up and slightly back bend. Come back to a more neutral position, and then side bending to the right. Back to center, side bending to your left. Back to center. Release, wrap the hands back behind you. Interlace your fingers, and again, broaden your shoulders, reach your knuckles back, lift the gaze up into a back bend. Come back to neutral, release, hands together in prayer. But this time, interlace with the other thumb on top. So this is a non-dominant interlacing of the hands. Press your palms forward, round the spine again. Inhale, lift the torso, reach your palms up, and then if you can manage a slight back bend, you can back bend as well. Come back to neutral, side bend to your left. Back to center, side bend to your right. Back to center, releasing your hands back behind you, taking the non-dominant interlacing of your hands, broaden your shoulders, reach your knuckles back, gaze up. Release. Walk your hands forward, tuck the toes under, lifting your knees for down dog, and start to pedal out the legs. Walk it out side to side. All right, so Danielle, if you have to stay on your knees like this, that's okay. Just stay here and just maybe move your hips side to side. All right, so Danielle, stay there. The rest of us will come to down dog, lifting your hips up, pressing into your hands. All right, inhale, raise your right leg up, three-legged dog, and then for Danielle, you can just go like this. Now for Danielle, it might be difficult to come forward, right? The rest of us, step the right foot forward, warrior one, arms up high. So you want to ground the back heel down at an angle. So for Danielle, right? So for you, it might be reach your leg back, step the right foot forward the best you can, and then navigate your way into standing position. So the right leg is forward, line up the right knee with the right heel. Back heel is down at an angle, square the hips to face forward, arms up high. So this is your warrior one. Good. On the exhale, open it up for warrior two. So you're rotating your torso to your left, arms are reaching front and back. Now check your front knee. The right knee should be lined up over the heel again with a vertical right shin. So as you bend the front knee and you're strengthening this right leg, you're also creating a very strong, stable structure to balance on in this warrior pose. Flip the front palm, reverse warrior, right arm up and back, the other direction. Exhale, side angle, right arm to tap the right leg if you're less flexible. If you can manage to touch your right hand down for the full pose, left arm up. So this is side angle. Inhale, come back up for warrior two. On the exhale, hands to the floor, stepping your right foot back. And then you're going to lower all the way down to the belly. Keep your hands alongside the rib cage. On the inhale, lift up, baby cobra. So you're lifting up just a little bit. So your lower ribs and your belly stay on the floor, elbows drawn back, lifting the upper back. So this is your upper back bend. On the exhale, lower almost all the way down, so you're still hovering. Inhale, lift up a little higher. So pressing into your hands a little bit more this time, a little bit higher. Exhale, lower almost all the way down. Inhale, lift up even higher. Now, if you have full extension of your arms, take it. If that's too much for you, keep the elbows bent. So this is your Cobra Pose, Bhujangasana. So this is the lower back bend. So the higher up you go with your torso, the lower the back bend. So stay here. As you can see, if you lower down and you're lifting the upper back, it's more of an upper back bend or a mid back bend. As you come up, it's a lower back bend. All right? All the way down, and then shift it back into child's pose. Feet toward the heels and fold. So stretching your lower back. And down dog. Making your way back. And then Danielle, you can stay here. Inhale, raise your left leg up, three-legged dog. Step the left foot forward, warrior one. Ground the back heel down, arms up high. Good. Back leg is fully extended. There you go, Rosalind. Good. Right? In your warrior pose, the back leg has to extend because if you bend the knee, then you're not very strong, right? If you straighten the back leg and bend the front knee forward, now you have strong legs for your warrior, right? It is called the warrior for a reason. You're in battle, right? And you want your stance to be solidly supportive. Exhale, open it up, warrior two, facing that side. You know, you're rotating to face that side. Yeah, there you go. All right, warrior two. Flip the front palm, reverse warrior, left arm up and back. Side angle. You can take the left elbow to top of the left knee or left hand to the floor, right arm up. Inhale, take it all the way back up, warrior two. Bend the front knee, yeah, warrior two. So make sure you clarify, right? Whenever we say warrior, the front knee is bent, back leg is fully extended. So whether warrior one, warrior two, reverse, okay? Hands to the floor, left foot, stepping back, and then lower all the way down to the belly once again. 3 progressive cobras, just like we did earlier, hands alongside the rib cage. Inhale, lift up, baby cobra. So your belly and your lower ribs stay on the floor. So you can feel it's an upper back bend. Exhale, lower almost all the way down. Inhale, lift up a little bit higher, so maybe about halfway up. So I want you to articulate the spine. Feel the difference between when you're lower to the middle to now, lower almost all the way down, now lifting a little higher. So maybe full extension of your arms, and this would be your full cobra, or if you need to modify, bending the elbows a little bit, right? So full extension could be a little bit deep for some of us, so that's why you have to bend your elbows. All right, lower all the way down, and then child's pose. Feet toward the heels and fold. And make your way back to your down dog, hips up high. So stay here. It's fine. For now, it's fine. Until you get stronger, more flexible, just stay here. Inhale, raise your right leg back, 3-legged dog. Exhale, step the right foot forward, warrior one. That's right. So just gently, however you can, just make your way up into warrior one. Now also, you can use your hands, your thighs, to help yourself up, right? Warrior one. Wrap the hands back behind you. Interlace your fingers. Broaden your shoulders. Reach your knuckles back. Lift the gaze up. Ecstatic warrior. And then bow forward, devotional warrior. So gently start to lean forward. You're going to let the head release toward the floor, so the crown of the head down as you reach your knuckles up overhead. So this is a shoulder opener. Inhale, take it all the way back up, warrior one. Exhale, open it up, warrior two. Right? So if you're not sure, just watch the people to the side of you. Lengthen the front leg, triangle pose. Tip the left hip back, reach your right hand forward. Taking the right hand to the top of the shins if you're less flexible in the hamstrings, or if you can touch all the way down, take the right hand to the floor, left arm up. So this is your triangle pose. So depending on your hamstring flexibility, you might need to support the hand to the shins instead. So you should feel a nice hamstring stretch on the right leg. Inhale, take it all the way back up. So you might even bend the right knee a little bit to soften that knee joint so that you can keep the hamstring safe. And reverse triangle. Right leg stays extended, right arm up and back. And then bend the front knee, hands to the floor, right foot stepping back, plank. And lower all the way down to the belly again. Now this time, we're going to take one slow movement to come all the way up to Cobra. So press your hands down to the floor from the top of the spine. Start to lift. So this is your baby Cobra. As you keep lifting, it's kind of like halfway up. As you keep lifting to the full extension of your arms, Bhujangasana. So that you feel the articulation of the spine, right? Working from the top on the way down. All right, so we're going to come the opposite direction. So you're going to start to bend the elbows and slowly lower all the way down. So you're going to feel from the lower spine to your mid-spine, upper mid-spine, and then all the way release. Right? Then we feel that articulation of the spine. So that's what I'm trying to demonstrate here in these three different heights when you lift. You want to work on different parts of your spine. And let's take it back to child's pose, stretching your lower back. So in yoga, what we try to do is we want to complement the poses, right? So if you're going to take a back bend, you're going to gently go into a forward bend, the opposite direction. All right, start to make your way back up. And this time, we're going to stand on top of the knees and tuck the toes under. Now, you should have 1 fist distance between your knees, and that will bring you to roughly hips width distance. Okay, so you're standing on the knees. Arms alongside. So think about one straight line with your body, right? You're going to start to draw the seat toward the heels, but you're still hovering, so you're activating your quads, keeping a neutral spine, and you're going to lift all the way back up. Draw the seat back toward the heels, but stay lifted, and then lift all the way back up. Draw down, lift up. Draw down, lift up. Draw down, that's 5. Lift up, we'll do 5 more. Down. Lift to 6. Down. Lift to 7. So we're bringing mobility into the hips, the knees, and the ankle joints, toe joints. Lower and lift. I think that's 8. Lower. Lift is 9. This time we're going to lower. We're going to stay here hovering. Right? So keep the arms active, reaching down. So you're lengthening the sides of the neck, your shoulders and your arms. You're activating your upper back. By now, your toes and your quads are feeling some of that burn, right? So we want to maintain that a little bit. And then lift all the way back up. Walk your hands back forward and come back to a down dog. And you can walk it out side to side again. And then you have to stay on your knees. All right, come back to stillness. Second side. Inhale, reach your left heel back, 3-legged dog. Now, everyone, the rest of us are going to go to down dog. All right? I'm trying to modify for Danielle. Reach your left heel back, 3-legged dog. Exhale, step the left foot forward, back heel comes down. Warrior one, arms up high. Front knees bending, square the torso forward, arms up high, warrior one. And then wrapping the hands back behind you, interlace your fingers, broaden your shoulders, reach your knuckles back, lift the gaze upwards. So this is your back bend in your ecstatic warrior. And then bow forward, devotional warrior, crown of the head, working toward the inside of the foot. If you don't have the flexibility and you're staying up a little higher, that is fine too. So you're bearing weight into your left leg as you ground to the back heel for support, letting the weight draw forward through the crown of the head. Keep reaching your knuckles up and overhead. Flip the palms the other way. Nope. Keep your hands interlaced, but yes. Nope. That way. Yeah, there you go. So it's easier for your wrists, right? Inhale, take it all the way back up. Warrior one. Exhale, open it up. Warrior two. Rosalind, back leg, yes. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, hands to the floor, left foot stepping back. And let's again lower all the way down to the belly. Let's take your time. All right, hands alongside the rib cage. So again, we're trying to articulate the spine. So one slow movement from the top of the spine, working to lower spine. On the inhale, lift the head, upper back, mid back, lower mid back, and then to the fullest extension of your arms into your Cobra Pose. All right, so when we come down, we're going to take the reverse, and I want you to really feel for the lower back, mid back, and the upper back. Bending the elbows, slowly lower down. So feel for the sensation of how your spine is unfurling, almost all the way down, and then take it all the way down, and then child's pose. Nice and slow. Press into your hands to lift the feet, and feet toward the heels, and fold. And make your way back up. Tuck the toes under, and again, coming to stand on your knees. So again, giving yourself 1/5 distance. Now take the right hand back behind you. Left arm forward, and bend your left elbow. Inhale, draw the left elbow back. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, draw the left elbow back. Exhale, twist to the right. Let's do that 5 times. Inhale, draw back. Exhale, twist is 3. Inhale, draw back. Exhale, twist is 4. Inhale, draw back. Exhale, twist is 5. Stay twisting to the right. Square back to center. Reach your left arm forward and up. Reach your right hand toward the floor. Exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, side bend. Inhale, center. Exhale, side bend. Inhale, center. One more. Exhale, side bend. Inhale, center. Wrap the left arm back behind you. Right arm forward and bend your right elbow. Draw the right elbow back. Exhale, twist to your left. Inhale, draw back. Exhale, twist left. Inhale, draw back. Exhale, twist is 3. Inhale, draw back. Exhale, twist is 4. Inhale, draw back. Exhale, twist 5. Stay twisting. Square back. Reach your right arm forward and up. Reach your left hand toward the floor to your left. Exhale, side bend left. Inhale, back to vertical. Side bend left. Back to vertical. Side bend left. Vertical. Left. Vertical. One more. Left. Vertical. Release your hands forward. And let's take it to down dog. And walk it out side to side. And let's come forward toward the front of the mat. Walk your feet forward. And then bending the knees with your hands supporting. Lift the back of the head and the upper back through a neutral spine. Shift the weight back toward your heels. And keeping the spine neutral, use the strength of the legs and the neutral spine to come up. All right, so I'll demonstrate that once again. All right, so oftentimes in yoga class, you do hear teachers teach you to roll up, right? There is some usefulness for that. I prefer not to do that because I feel that if you have any pre-existing lower back issues or potential back issues, rolling of the spine could throw out your back. I prefer to use the quads in a neutral spine, so this is what I mean. All right, so when you come into forward folds, right, oftentimes you walk in. So if you don't have a lot of flexibility, keep your knees bent, keep your hands supporting, so that when you're here, you can work on the proper form of lifting the head and the upper back. So now your spine is straight, right, neutral. Then you can shift the weight back toward your heels, and now the weight toward the heels will take the weight to your legs. So with your legs and the neutral spine, you can more safely come up without overutilizing your lower back and creating any possible back issues. So that's my preferred way of coming out of any forward bending position. If you hear teachers say, and your back is okay, and you want to roll up like this, that's fine. But I encourage you, if you feel anything to your lower back, keep it safe by using that other technique instead. Okay, you're toward the front of the mat. Walk your feet in together. Stepping on the left foot, pick up the right knee, and balancing here in tree. You're going to grab the right foot, the inner left leg. So try to go above the knee joint if you can. If that is really difficult for your hips because your hips are tight, or if it throws off your balance too much, take it below the knee joint. Now, even that is difficult for balance, you can take your toes to the floor and just bear most of the weight to your standing left leg. There's your tree, arms up and out. Good. Keep the gaze to the floor ahead of you, and that will help you to balance. Now, you might experience that you're swaying around a little bit. That is perfectly fine. Just keep working on utilizing your feet to counterbalance left and right. Right? Just consider, in normal life, few of us are ever standing like this, right? Unless you're doing a tree pose in a class. Right? So consider that. If it's difficult for you to balance, it is perfectly normal until this becomes a regular practice for you and you can balance like this, right? All right, let's start to release. Step the right foot down and then walk it out side to side. Now, the great thing about yoga practice is all of these things that we do in class, right, are not normal things that we do in real life. But when we do these exaggerated movements in this class, it helps you in your normal life. Imagine if you're trying to catch something and you have to, right? If you can balance on one leg and you know how to do that, it's just easier. Or if, let's say, you're reaching for something, right? What is that? Half moon, right? So these things are teaching your body mechanics on how to move, biomechanics, right? So keep that in mind. Even though the things that we do here are kind of unusual, right? Not normal in a way, it's very functional, right? Stepping on the right side, pick up the left foot. Grab the left foot, take it to the inner right thigh, above or below the knee joint. You can go below the knee joint, or your left toes can come to the floor and press your heel to the inner right leg, and then arms up and out. And as you hold this, it gets progressively a little harder, right? We start to sway. All right, start to release. Step the left foot back down, walk it out side to side. All right, let's come back to center. Tadasana, standing mountain pose, right? So standing mountain pose is with your legs together, heels are pressing down, crown of the head reaching up, and your arms are relaxing alongside. So this standing mountain pose. Stepping on the left foot again, pick up the right knee. This time, right hand to your right knee. And then you want to activate your right foot. You can flex your right foot just a little bit. It doesn't have to be too strong. You want to just activate the right foot. Left arm out to counterbalance, and then open up the knee to the right side. Now, if you have more flexibility in the hamstrings and you want to take Yogic Toe Lock instead, Yogic Toe Lock to the right big toe, extend the right leg fully, and then open up the leg to the side. So you have two options. That's okay? Right? So maybe you can do this. Right? And then start to shift the weight to your left a little bit, and maybe get even lighter on your toes. That's right. Even if you pick it up for a second, right, you still work. There you go. So you don't have to go all the way up. That's fine. Good. All right, so the poses all have like a basic standard pose, but within the pose, there are modifications, right? If this is difficult for you because holding up the leg this high is difficult for your hips, you can go a little bit lower, right? Although, if you go a little bit lower, you don't have the support of the hand to the leg, that might actually be even stronger for your leg. But if you can balance okay like this, even though you're working stronger with your right leg, that is fine. So this is a modification for those of us who have a difficult time raising the leg this high. All right, release, step it down, walk it out side to side. And also keep in mind that in our yoga practice, there are multiple forms for every pose. So you have to customize and fit the poses to what your body needs, right? So if you're working with an injury, working with some sort of limitation, then you have to learn what the modifications are so you can take the poses in whatever classes you're taking. Stepping on the right foot, pick up the left knee. With your left hand, grab the knee, right arm out. Or if you're taking Yogic Toe Lock, extend. And then when you're ready, open up the leg to the left side. So your options are full extension, hand to big toe, hand to left knee, or maybe freehand, the leg is just dangling in space. As long as you're bearing most of the weight to the right leg, that is fine. Now, if you're not able to pick up the left foot either, left toes gently on the floor, bearing most of the weight to your right leg. Right? And then perhaps you get to a point where you can shift a little bit and pick up the foot just ever so much so that maybe the left toes can come off the floor. And that is your balance for today, right? And work on that. Right? And then maybe even for Danielle, if you want to walk over to the wall, just take your hand, one hand to the wall, shift, and maybe you can do it that way. Good. So that way, you're working on strengthening that standing right leg with the support of the hand to the wall, and then that way you're also working on hip flexibility. So that's another way to take this pose, right? Use the wall. Right? So for those of you at home also, if it's difficult for you to do any of these variations, you can take the hand up against the wall, press up against the wall, and maybe you can handle them this, right, with the hand to the wall. All right, let's break. Step the left foot back down and walk it out side to side. All right, we're going to up the ante by rotating this time. Stepping on the left foot, pick up the right knee. Left hand to the right knee, right arm reaching back to twist. All right, so if you're using the wall, you can face the wall, put the foot up against the wall, and twist. Use your foot. Okay, that's good. That's fine. Good. Stay here. Maybe for Danielle, you can do this. That's right. Good work, guys. Now, alternatively, for those of you with more flexibility, is hand to foot. All right, let's release. Step the right foot down, walk it out side to side. All right, second side, square back to center. Stepping on the right foot, pick up the left knee. Right hand to your left knee, left arm reaching back. Now, if you're shaky in the balance, right, you want to keep the gaze looking forward. That will make it a lot easier. However, if you're pretty steady here and you want to challenge your balance, you can start to look over to your side or maybe even behind you. And you'll notice that when you take the gaze to look behind you, it will make the balance a whole lot more challenging. So Suru, looks like you might be able to grab the outer leg and extend. Right? So it's kind of like, again, this is like another way of approaching this pose. You're not quite here, but you're certainly doing more than this, right? So you can go here. Alrighty, let's break. Step the left foot back down, walk it out. All right, let's come back onto the mat. We're going to make our way back to down dog to take pigeon. Inhale, raise the arms up high. Exhale, start to bend the knees. And again, think about neutral spine as you make your way. Take the hands to the floor, and then step the feet back to down dog. Pigeon pose, raise your left leg up. Draw the left knee in toward the nose and land that shin to the floor. So for Danielle, you can be on your knees. Take the seat to one side. Draw the right leg back, left leg forward, and come here. All right, so you want the left thigh to angle out 30 to 45 degrees. You want the right leg to extend back and then try to inch your right knee further back so you can lower the seat. Walk your hands in, elongate through the spine. So you want to find that your hips are level to the floor. You're not sitting down on one side. You're actually balancing on the shin and the seat is off the floor, level to the floor. When you're ready, you can walk your hands forward. You can stay on your forearms, or you can make pillows with the hands and rest your forehead. Now, in your pigeon, you should feel a hip opening, left glute stretch. You should feel the right front of the leg also getting stretched because you're reaching your right toes back, getting longer through that leg. And then as you sink into the pose, allow breath and gravity to get you lower and lower toward the floor. So you can always make an adjustment, right? After you take a few breaths, you can always inch your right knee further back and lower the hips even more, getting more stretch into your left glutes. So Danielle, if being on the forearms for too long is too much, right? You don't even have to go like this. You can just walk your hands back in and just kind of, yeah, right? So I saw you coming from out of this into this, and it looked like a little bit of a struggle. So walk your hands in and just let the weight draw downwards, just like that, right? So if this becomes too tiring, change your shape and go like this, right? Because I kind of felt like you were struggling with this one too. So I think this might be easier. You just want to be soft and easy, allowing hips to release and open through breath and gravity, right? So you don't want to work too hard here. You just want to let gravity do the work for you. So just allowing the hands to support here will give you plenty of hip opening. Alrighty, let's start to finish up. Walk your hands back in, lift the torso back up. You're going to ground the palms, tuck the right toes under, and press it back to a down dog. And for Danielle, maybe you can just kind of draw the seat down and switch legs. All right, the rest of us, right leg up, draw the right knee in, land the shin to the floor. So you're on the top of the right shin, your right thigh is angling out 30 to 45 degrees with your hands supporting, inch your left knee further back to lower your seat, untuck the toes. You want to also walk your hands back, elongate through the spine, make sure you're nice and level, and that you're not feeling that you're sitting to one side and lopsided, right? You want to be level. And when you're ready, gently make your way forward. It's the right leg that draws in, left leg that goes back. That's right. So Sarup, this side, you're a little bit more lopsided. So shift your hips to the right, your hips, not your torso. There you go. And then if you can, inch your left knee further back so you can lower the seat a little bit more, unless you're super tight there. You want to keep the hips moving to the right. May I adjust you? Okay, you want to shift this way. And then if you want to go deeper, then you can inch your left knee further back to lower the hips. There you go. Right? Try not to fall to the left. Stay here. Right? Because you were here before, right? Which is easier. But if you shift back here, your hips are now level and you're getting the stretch into your right glutes, right? So in pigeon pose, oftentimes we go toward the side of least resistance, right? So we fall off to one side because it's easier. But then you're also not getting the stretch, right? So just keep that in mind. You don't want to be lopsided. You want the hips to be level so you can get the proper stretch. And then on this side should be your right glutes, your left hip, your left quads. And then if you take another 5 breaths here, you can start to let the hips get even heavier and maybe get even closer toward the floor if you can manage that, right? If it's not too tight for you. And so when you're taking flexibility poses, yes, there's some effort in it, right? But you don't want it to be so effortful that your muscles start to contract and tighten up again. Because when you work too hard in flexibility poses, your muscles start to contract. So you want to find that balance between effort and ease and go into a flexibility pose with a good amount of just release and passivity. Alrighty, let's make your way up. Walk your hands back in, lifting your torso. Tuck the left toes under and press it back to your down dog. Walk it out side to side. Or if you're on your knees, just kind of shake out your hips side to side. All right, let's make our way forward into seated position. You're going to walk the feet forward, bend your knees, and take the seat down. If you're on your knees, you can just sit to one side and swing the legs forward. All right, so with your hands supporting, start to lower onto your back. Once you're on your back, draw the left knee in toward the chest and hug that left knee in. Then the left arm can go out to a T position, or if it feels better for you to take the left arm downwards alongside the hips, that works well. And then start to twist to the right. So you're going to roll on to the outer right hip, outer right leg, and taking a spinal rotation here in a reclining position. Keep your head all the way down. Yeah. And so spinal rotation is very important. for the health of your spine, creating space in between the vertebrae, right? So if you tend to have a lot of compression because you either have a job where you stand a lot, or if you have a job, you sit a lot, right? Because when you're sitting, it's overstretch of the back and then compression of the front. If you're standing a lot, like if you're in retail, if you're a waiter or something like that, you're constantly compressing through the spine, right? So when you rotate, you create space in between the vertebrae. All right, let's take the left knee back to center, switch legs, switch arms. So right knee comes in, left leg goes out. Right arm out to a T or downwards alongside the hips, and twist to your left. All right, start to draw the right knee back in, hug both knees in toward the chest. So bring your body back into left and right symmetry. Then step the feet to the floor, slide the legs forward, full extension of your legs. Let the feet separate and the toes are gently turning out. Let the legs relax. Arms alongside the body, palms face up, eyes are closed, and let everything go. So release any tension you have in your shoulders, in your legs, in your neck, and let the floor support. Beginning to draw your breath back in. Moving your fingers and your toes. Reach the arms overhead, stretching in opposite directions. And when you're ready, roll over to the right side and come up to a comfortable cross-legged position. When you take your cross-legged, let's take your non-dominant shin on top again, giving your non-dominant hip a little bit more work to even out with your dominant side. Palms face up. Fingers come back to Jnana Mudra. Reconnecting to an even seat, lengthy spine, shoulders broad, breath deep, and let the neck be free. Inhale for Om. Hands together in prayer, bowing forward, sealing in practice. Inhale, come up. Namaste, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you for sharing your practice with me today. Again, my name is Stephen Cheng, coming to you live from 333 Grand in downtown Jersey City, New Jersey. Please visit my website, simhayoga.com, for the hybrid schedule, which is in person here at 333 Grand, as well as through Zoom. You can register for class through ubindi.com. And if you're watching this on YouTube, classes are $10, and you can pay through Venmo or PayPal. Payment information is on the bottom of the video. And again, you can find all of this information on my website, simhayoga.com. Thank you for joining me. See you next time. Thank you, guys.